Hey, hey, hey.
What's up, you guys? Can you hear us? Let us know and see us well. We'll let everybody kind of get tuned in and chimed in real quick and see you've got some of y'all hanging out.
Alright, let us know how the sound is. Don't think that there should be an echo this time, but if there is, you just let us know. Let's see here. This. Okay. Loud and clear echo. Let us know if you guys are still hearing the echo now. I did change the mic. Sound is good.
Right on. Okay, cool.
Hear you fine. No echo now.
All right.
Good deal.
Very good. All right, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. Here we are, our live Friday night special. Steph and I are going to be we're going to be having fun tonight. I've been looking forward to this live feed for some time now. If you guys don't know, we're going to have Legend Suspension on. Lord Eric Suspension from the Land of Legends is going to be sharing his knowledge on the suspension that we ride with. Before then, I'm just going to say hi to everybody. And if you don't know who we are, well, I'm TJ Thompson. This is Stephanie Thompson. She's known as the Ornery Squall, and I'm the Ornery One. And we're just a little ornery. And
sometimes.
And on this channel, you're going to see content mostly, around the motos world, motorcycle, what we do, what we travel, what we're into, and who we are, and our pay it forwards. If you don't know, we are a non-profit 501(c), and we do a really cool pay it forward that everybody gets involved with. We did a really cool one over the Christmas. You can go check that out in our videos below. And like I said, tonight we're going to be talking about Legend Suspension. And if you haven't seen those videos, you can scroll down below and see those as well. You can see my reaction the first time we put Revo on the back. It blew my mind. And then we put the Axio on front and ran up to Sturgis this year. So you can go check those videos out.
Huge game changer for not just you, but for me too, as far as the ride on the passenger side.
Absolutely. It just changed the bike tremendously. So like I said, on this channel, we talk a lot about just what we're into and what we're up to, and a lot about that bike. We run a 2019 Road Glide Special. What's up, Tate? Thank you so much. I love it.
Thank you for that super
I hope
chat.
you're doing well, buddy. I did want to let you know that we have got your package out. Your shipment, if you haven't got it, it's on its way. It kind of got returned, and we had to deal with some post office stuff.
Yeah,
so
I think I've got it taken care of.
Tate right there is an ornery ass, and if you don't know what an ornery ass is, you can become a member here on the YouTube and become an ornery ass. So it comes with some perks, and we have our own little community, and we all kind of talk a lot, and we just share to each other about what's going on in our life, uplifting stuff, and there's a lot of negativity out here in this world, and we're all good here with the ornery asses. It's a free zone as far as drama and bullshit. Which leads me to this. I had a pretty good experience this week. We have a member, Marlo Sunglow. He reached out to me and he was talking about seats. And you guys don't know, we ride with a Mustang seat, and he was talking about different seats, and I told him my opinion, and then he's like, well, I want to look into Mustang seats, and I said, give me a minute. So I reached out to our rep, Tim, which we've had him on live. You can scroll down and see that as well. We were talking about Mustang seats. He's our rep there with Mustang. Tim actually called Marlo, and they had a great discussion and hooked him up, and he's really happy. That was really cool to do that. So another cool thing that we're doing, we're actually putting you guys in touch with the companies, hooking you up, letting you see why we trust in these companies and trust in their product. And like we were talking last night with Baggers and Brews, and we went live with them, and they were kind of going over a lot of stuff with us about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I told them, and it really resonated with me. I was sitting there talking. It's just like, It's people, then product. So with everything that we're talking about, it's about you guys and us showing you, you know, our process of learning product, using product, and what we think about them. And then in the process, we get to know the people in these companies, and then we know the product, and then it makes it a pretty cool experience when you know you're getting a product from cool people. And that's exactly what we're doing tonight. We'll be hanging out with, like I said, Eric from Legends, and we put on our story, you know, you guys could just ask whatever questions you had. So Steph actually got those gathered up, and we sent them to Eric, so he kind of knows a little heads up about the questions. Also, if you guys got some questions tonight, you'll be able to ask him. We're just going to hang out, get to know Legends as individuals. I know I've spent a lot of time hanging out with the Hollywood Hammer, Chase there. Absolutely love Chase to death. We got to meet the girls in the office when we went up there, and met a few more folks out there with the social medias, and they do some amazing stuff, guys. I want to take a moment real quick and say what's up. Can you read the name?
David Buckley. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining. Newest member, 93 Ornery Octane level. I appreciate that so much. There's links there in the member section of YouTube, so you can get a link to our private Facebook group, our Discord server. You've got special emojis down there in your badge. And that's just a few of the perks. There's member only.
Yeah, right on. Thanks.
Videos out there.
Welcome to the Ornery One. And like we always said, we appreciate you so much, and welcome to being an ornery ass. And we like a big old thick ass here on the ornery ass, or the ornery asses, and you just made it get thicker. So that's so badass. I love seeing that green bar come up, because like I said, that's when we get more members, we grow as a community, and that's super badass, because then I get to see you guys doing your thing, and we get to share our experiences out on the road, which we've got a big year planned.
We do. Really quickly though, I want to kind of just say hi to a few people. There's North Carolina out there. Appreciate you guys joining us.
What's up?
Bradley Alexander from Georgia. That's awesome. And let's see, Agent Orange, he said, I've been waiting for this live since you announced it last week. So I'm so glad that you joined us.
Good deal, man.
Very,
I've been looking forward to it as well.
And of course, we've got Smitty from Down Under. He's joining us tonight.
What's up, buddy?
Is working on the shed, but he's going to be listening and following along.
Yeah, so another thing I just want to, real quick, we're talking about live feeds. Next Friday night, we'll have Shane from RickRak on as well. They have a pretty cool setup there where you can run strapless with that, quick attachment that goes to your luggage. We run it many miles. They also have Gopro Mounts. You'll see those on our bike. We use those day in and day out. I put them on, never touched them. And I mean, I'm able to pan with it and just get it set right where I want it and do what I need to do. They also do a lot of other cool things. They have a lot to offer. He's got a lot of product there. So you guys can tune in next week and have some questions. We'll do the same thing as we did this week with Legends. Later on down the road too, I'll be talking to Memphis Shades, see if them folks would like to hang out, and then later on we'll be hanging out with Custom Dynamics, of course, and Mustang Seats. All the ones that I have just mentioned right there, they are our sponsors this year, and we're so humble, and we thank each and every one of you. And I'm excited for this year, and I've got some nerves, man. It's building, because I always get super excited and just start getting this like, I just gotta go, I gotta get on the road. And in 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks,
it will happen.
We're gonna be heading down to Daytona for Daytona Bike Week. So I've got some emotions coming in right now. Steph is having to just hold me back. I've got all this energy.
I know you guys,
coming in.
A lot of you guys over in the side chat are talking about the snow and the weather and stuff like that, and it's crazy to think that in just a couple of weeks we will be on the road and heading to Daytona, and it's way overdue, I feel like, because I'm over the snow. I know a lot of you guys are probably here around our area in the Midwest, and Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas.
Boys.
We've had a lot of snow and ice this last
And
week.
we know up north you guys get a lot of this, and you're like, hey, this is how it is. But you know,
I'm ready to return it back to you.
Yeah, for us southern folk down here, it's a little heavy for us. I mean, it hasn't been this cold. I think it was 18 below, 16 below the other day when we woke up, and it stayed. And then we had a lot of snow, had some ice, more snow, so it shut everything down around here, you know. Of course, we never stop, though. We got that old $200 Jeep Cherokee.
We're always
and
going
we just go.
Fun.
So, I hope everybody's making through the winter. I know we're all ready to ride. Nobody hates winter like a person that loves that motorcycle. So.
I did see, I'm not for sure who it was, one of you guys, one of you members, you were playing around in the driveway on your motorcycle in the snow and just kind of going back and forth up the driveway. It was kind of cool.
Getting a little bit of wind in your hair, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Mandy the Machine says, the Ornery One. Tim bought one of the bags from RickRak for his touring pack, but I need to get one of those Gopro mounts for the Heritage for the Sturgis trip.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
They're handy as hell, you know. They have the clamp on there where you can move them around. He has different ones too that go
and
to.
They are 360, like you were saying. You can pan around. There's, I mean, it's smooth. You can look back into a lot of our videos and you can see, and people's ask, you know, how do you get that the video when you pan around? And that's
me.
Just the GoPro mount.
That's me,
and
like throttling down
360.
through there, and I'm just grabbing it and just wheeling it around as a little ball in there. So I've got pretty good at it. And then we also got a really cool mount down there on the fender, the front fender, which we use that quite a bit. But the thing of it is, it's down there, and I only have one GoPro. So, you know, I'm going to throw the one up there in front where I can pan around a little bit. We need to get another GoPro, but you guys know how expensive they are. They're just, it's like one of the things you don't have to have it. It'd be nice to have it. So, I'd love to try out one of the new ones. But anyway, yeah, they've got a lot of cool stuff to offer. Like I said, all these folks are doing some amazing stuff. Custom Dynamics, they posted yesterday. I forget the new lights, what they're called exactly. I put it on the story. They just came out. Holy cool. Shit!
They're
you know, those guys. They're always doing some cool stuff. We're gonna have a horn set up on our bike in a few months that they're coming out with. That I'm really excited about because I want to blow that horn. So to rev that motor, I'm gonna have it.
Cool.
It's I hear it's super loud.
Really quickly, Anonymous Biker, thank you so much for mentioning that. So yeah, if you guys are watching, please hit that thumbs up, because the more thumbs up you guys do, the better engagement rate that we have on there. In return, you guys are helping us being able to have our video reach more audience, and so we appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. Also, we do live feeds like this every Friday night, whether we're at home or we're on the road at a rally. We try to have special guests on, just like tonight we've got Eric with the Legend Suspension.
Lord Eric.
Yes, so a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, and then so like I said, this week got Legends, next week got RickRak, next week we'll be in Daytona. So, you know, that's how it's playing out. We do have our calendar on the website. They had a little trouble with that, had nothing to do with us. I think it's up and going now, so you can go to the website. We've had a lot of people ask about our ride calendar for 21. It's there, www.theorneryone.com.
Yep, under 2021 riding season, you can see our calendar, and then underneath that tab also is a member schedule. So if you are a member, you can enter the password to be able to access that member calendar. You have a little bit more in-depth as far as when we're actually leaving out, where we're going to be exactly, and all the meetups and daily stops that we have planned. You guys can check that out and just have a little bit more in-depth on our riding schedule.
Wow. I mean, the way that thing's set up right now, we're going to be home a week and a half out of the month. It looks like 25, 26, 28,000 miles.
And hopefully nothing gets canceled this year.
Well, there has been some cancellations, you know, and there may be, but there's a lot going on out there. And guys, that's one thing I've been telling everybody: if there's something you want to do, go do it. Go, because you know how everything's going now. You never know. You never know. And not only that, I say this a lot: we all have an expiration date. We don't know when that is. Go live your life.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to get out, and we respect that totally. All right.
So, really quickly though, before we do bring on our guest, we've got Eric from Legend Suspension, and we are going to go over a couple of questions that you guys had, that you guys submitted through Instagram. There's a few off the Facebook page also that we gathered up. Like you were saying, we sent those over to Eric just so he'll have a heads up as far as what kind of questions we're looking at. Some of them are very specific to the bike that you guys ride. Some of them are kind of generic too. So, yeah, I'm going to bring him on in the background really quickly before we...
This is still pretty new to me.
It is. I'm working with 3 different platforms here.
So forgive us. We're a little clunky, but we're working through it. We're learning. And she's doing a lot of clicking right now. Click, click, click. Jeez.
All right. One moment. I'm going to make sure that Eric can hear us all right. Eric, can you hear us? Okay. Let's see. I can hear you a little bit. You're kind of in, not an echo, but kind of like in a barrel. And then it looks like...
It's a very small, tall ceiling room. So
okay.
It's a little echoey here.
Okay, yeah, no problem. And then it looks like your camera is facing the wall or an exit door.
Yeah, we see the exit.
Can you see us okay?
We're going to work through this, guys. Hang with us. Like I said, we're all learning together. Eric is working through all this stuff. Bear with us, guys. He's probably putting away some suspension right now. There he is. Wow. What are you up, buddy?
Okay.
Nice. Look at that.
All right. So now that I've got your video, bear with me just 1 second, and I'm going to add it onto our live feed. You guys, all of our viewers are used to this. I'm a little slow at a few things.
It's all right, sweetheart.
All right, one second.
Man, I love the logo behind you. It's super crisp. You guys always do some cool graphic stuff.
We've got a great department that does all of that stuff.
Yes. When we were up there, the girls took us through the shop and the office there, and I can't remember her name, but she was in there working on photos and layouts and stuff, and she had all of her pictures hung up and pinned up, and man, it was so cool. Okay, guys, like Steph is getting everything honed in here, and then we're going to ask you guys if you can hear us and hear Eric. Just give us a second. Okay.
All right, so for you guys viewing, you should be able to see both of us on our live feed. Just let us know if you guys can hear us and if you can hear Eric.
Yeah, just Eric, would you sing us a little lullaby or something sweet?
How about a little happy birthday?
Happy birthday would be great, man.
Oh, you got a good voice.
Well, I mean, he's got the looks too. Look at the guy. Super sharp, man. Okay, guys, can you hear him okay?
Perfect.
We'll make sure.
We can see him for sure. Yes.
Okay.
I believe we are good to go.
Okay.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Eric, so much for joining us. I appreciate that. I know all of you guys out there that are watching are excited. We've been talking about it for the last week and a half or so now, and it's been something that, a lot of good feedback. and we're excited.
Yeah, man. So we never have really met. You've been working, I'm sure, and I've been here and there. How long have you been with Legends?
I've been here about 6.5 years, actually.
Really? So are you from up in there?
Born and raised in Sturgis.
Yep.
Sweet.
Man, that's...
Been in the motorcycle industry now for about 25 years. Between a dealership here locally, and then when Jesse gave me the opportunity to come over here 6.5 years ago, it was a no-brainer. So pretty blessed.
Yeah. So, you know, when we came up there and hung out for a little bit, you know, Chase took us around, and it felt good, man. It felt like a great place to work, and so open and happy. And that's one thing cool about you guys. When we go up to Sturgis, you guys are right there, and the shop is just... It's easy to get to. When we rolled up, you guys had the doors open, had tents up, had water. I mean, y'all were welcome everybody in. I know we had a couple of questions. People were like, can we get suspension put on when we're in Sturgis?
Yep. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Heck,
yep.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. I mean, y'all are ready to rip. And it's cool.
In fact, last year when you guys were here, myself and two of the other guys primarily do all the installs during the week of the rally. So I was elbows deep, I think, in the front end when you guys came through the shops.
Yep. I thought you were working. And, you know, last year, you know, due to COVID, was a little bit slow, but y'all never slowed down. It looked like y'all were just hammered.
Yeah. It was, I don't think we missed a beat. You know, we were very, very blessed to live and work in a state that we do. Our governor gave us that flexibility to continue life as we know it, and treated us all like adults. So we never took our foot off the throttle. It was wide open.
No, and that's one thing I've noticed, like with other companies that we've been working with, everybody was a little bit nervous, and they reached out to us, and Steph and I was like, we're just going to keep doing mile marker after mile marker. We're just going to keep, you know, heading forward. And I know this year is going to be an amazing year. You guys have been doing a lot of stuff, and that kind of brings me to this. I was wondering, do you guys have anything in the works different or new? Anything that you might let us in on, or maybe?
Sure. You know, right now the big thing that we're working on, and at this point, I don't think it's a secret anymore. We're very close to releasing our coilover for the M8 Softails for the 2018 and newer Softails. So hopefully, here in the next probably 60 to 75 days, we'll be getting ready to
no shit.
debut that. So we're just waiting on some warm weather and some dry roads so we can go out and do some final tests on them.
Gosh, that's going to be just horrible.
Yeah, it's been brutal the last couple of weeks.
Oh, I can just imagine. And I mean, you guys are right there ready to rip too, you know, in an amazing place to ride. So that's really cool to hear that right there. I know, because I was kind of curious about that, because we get that a lot. Like, people want to know what's new, what's coming out, and you guys are always on the cusp of something. Because I know when I was up there was one corner of the shop that Hollywood, well, I say Hollywood Hammer, but Chase, he was like, you can't go over there. And I was like, what? And he's like, TJ, stay out of the corner. And he said, because you guys are developing stuff. And it's super cool.
Yeah, there's always some, you know, super secret scroll stuff going on there.
Yeah, so what's it like? What's it like to work for Jesse?
I'll tell you what, it's awesome. The man gives us all the tools in the world to do our jobs. And I always tell guys that, you know, just like when you ask, imagine going to work and the guy says, what do you need? What do you need to do your job and do it well? And you ask him for the resources to do it. He puts them in front of you, and as long as you show up and deliver, it, you know, life is grand, man. So, no, couldn't ask for a better owner and a better boss.
Yeah,
so,
man, and like I said, when we came into the shop up there, we've gone to different places, and you feel kind of like, not there, man. It's, you can tell that everybody's happy and they're excited to be at work, and that says a lot for a company.
Yeah.
Well,
for sure.
You know, I was going to wait till later, but now I'm so curious. I was going to ask you, what's your favorite bike?
Oh my gosh.
I know. I know. I got that question sometimes, and I'm like, you don't have to answer it now. But
Yeah.
I was just like, I get that sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's my favorite bike?
Yeah.
And I thought I'm going to start asking people that question that I get.
Yeah.
You know, I know the favorite one. I know one that I won. I won a 1977 Shovelhead. You know,
Yeah.
so bad, but one of these days. But you know, man, we made the videos about y'all's suspension, and I'll be honest with you, I'd never had good suspension before. I didn't know any better.
Yep.
And you guys sent that Revo 8 setup to us. We put that on, and we made that video, and that was like, legitly, I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. I'd heard about it, but I was like, psh, you know, you just make do, and you're like, no big deal. But holy shit, it changed that bike. Then you throw the axios on the front, and we ran up to Sturgis. You know, that was a different ride for me, and it changed everything. But like I was saying, the feel of that bike, like I've heard of people saying stuff's on rails. I was like, okay. But seriously, I was driving a bowling ball, and now it's like you're on an arrow. I mean, it's just super smooth, handleable, and your confidence grows on that bike, which I absolutely love.
Yeah. No, the way you put it is awesome, because that is, we get those sentiments echoed very often. You know, on a daily basis, we hear that. And like you said, most guys don't realize that they are riding a bowling ball. Like you said, it's kind of an unguided missile sometimes.
I know.
And everybody is always really focused on making them go. You know, I'm gonna do a big bore kit. I'm gonna do stage 2, stage 3, you name it.
Yeah.
Make this thing really go. But then next thing you know, they got to make it low and make it handle. And once they start feeling how it all works together, it's a totally different world once you experience it, for sure.
Yeah, dude, it blew my mind. It's a superior ride. Like you ride with it gives you content. Like I was always riding. I rode with guys that had that, and I noticed it was just in the corners. My bike didn't run as good. That's all I knew. Well, my bike doesn't run as good. But like you were saying, well, it was about the handling. And you'll definitely, the way we are set up now, riding with people, we get into the corners, you know, we're just riding our ride. But I'll look back and you'll see them kind of drift back, you know, because we're just able to lay into that corner. And, you know, a couple times Steph's like, holy shit, how fast were you going through that corner? You know, I look down and like, damn, you know, and there's corners I know around here. I know all these roads around here, so we're riding, you know.
Yeah.
So whenever you're able to pick it up, and I'm not kidding, 15, 20 miles an hour faster around a corner, and you're just riding and look down and you're like, damn, I'm moving. It's a true confident builder.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess if you want to, we sent you some of those questions that people were wanting to ask you. I guess we'll go over some of those, and then let people kind of chime in if they'd like to and ask some questions.
Yeah,
Sure.
so just say really quickly, a lot of people said that it's lagging and the screen's frozen, but the audio's much better. I switched a few things around, but I apologize, you guys, for the picture quality. We've had, I mean, a snowstorm, blizzard, like apocalypse here in Arkansas, so I don't know if that has to do with it or not, but I do apologize. I am recording also, so I'm going to add a link to the video afterwards, so you guys can watch it again if you need to. So yeah, some of the questions that we got in, they're really good questions too.
No shit.
That I was just, I mean, I'm glad you're on here with us, because I would not be able to answer some of these people's questions about these shocks. So let's go over like the first one here. Said, I heard about the Softail mono shock. Would love to know a rough release date.
Yeah, going back to that, like I said, we're Fingers crossed, if Mother Nature cooperates and everything continues on course, hopefully here within about the next probably 60 to 75 days, we should be real close to releasing that. So
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see people how they take to that. I know.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. They're watching. Everybody's always watching,
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. So we've got, when are the, I don't know what this means. Is this like +2 to, when are the 49 millimeter Axios dropping?
Okay, that's a good question.
Okay.
And actually, as far as +2 Axios dropping, we dropped we debuted our FL touring model +2s a year ago
Okay.
at MVP in Louisville, and that was for the touring models.
Mm-hmm.
We just released the +2 Dyna Axo cartridges about 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and so they are in stock in all the Drag Specialties warehouses. So literally, if a guy wants a set of those, they can go to their local dealer, whether it's a Drag Specialties dealer or through a Orange Shield Harley Davidson dealership or your local independent shop. Place that order and should have them in 3 to 5 days.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Very, very cool. Let's see. This other one's just kind of basically the same, referring to the monoshock. People are excited about that.
No shit. I noticed that earlier too. They're into that. They want to know about that.
Well, that's a product that's going to be really exciting because I'll tell you the stock shock on those any of the new Softails is inherently oversprung for the majority of the riders out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so to actually get that stock shock to move, it takes that big jarring, crashing bump to do that. And it feels like it shortens your spine up about an inch. So rightly so, everybody should be excited because what's coming will definitely improve the handling. It'll give that extra rideability, give guys the long day duration in the saddle kind of comfort that they're looking for. So
Very cool.
Y'all are doing good stuff, man. I mean, y'all are answering people's questions and they're needing this stuff and they're providing it, man. Once again, that's why Legend's legendary.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's one. Will Legends ever make a mount for the air compressor so it can be relocated?
That's a great question. And the answer to that is we're always looking for different options.
Okay.
But with today's technology and today's engineers, everybody, it doesn't matter whether you're riding Harley Davidson or if you're driving a Cadillac, everything is getting packaged tighter and tighter. There's very little extra space left on motorcycles. And so in order to put a compressor in a location where it's clean, it's not exposed, it's out of the way, one of the big things that we're always looking at is functionality and where we can put that stuff. And so the last thing we want to do is hang a compressor, out there in front of everyone, just for the sake of, maybe making it a little more convenient. Aesthetically, we've got to make it right too. So the hard part, like I say, is just what's left for usable space that the manufacturer allows to hide that stuff. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's always a challenge.
So you guys, know what they're talking about. You've been looking into it. It's always a question. It's always
and the most typical one we get is guys with on the touring models want to put an electric center stand under the bike. Well, the electric center stand motor basically occupies the same real estate as our compressor does.
Yes.
And so it's a trade-off. Which one do you want the most, and how it works together? And so, it's definitely a challenge. And like on the older bikes, we were always able to take and relocate the compressor under the right-hand side cover if the bike didn't have analog brakes. And so that was the kind of our go-to. Well, virtually everything comes with analogs on it now. So that little piece of real estate's gone. So always just and we're always open to suggestions, and we'd like to hear what guys are doing. So if there's a great idea out there, by all means, bounce it off us.
I love it, man. And a lot of the companies that we've been working with, they ask us all the time, let people tell us. If you hear something, let us know. Because, we're all out there riding. We're all experiencing stuff and thinking. And you get minds come together, and it just starts snowballing. You never know. And it'd be cool to have a mount named after you. Or something, if you came up with something cool.
The TJ mount.
The TJ mount. Yeah, that'll sell.
Yeah, it's just sometimes like there's things that are so obvious to me sometimes. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? But then, of course, like my mind's on something else, or I'm like, trying to figure out another way that, I don't even realize another, a possible way that's like right there in front of me that's obvious or something.
You guys are up against it, though. I mean, it's just so much limited space. And then we're all adding stuff and changing stuff. Like I said, everything's changing all the time.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because let's face it, motorcyclists love to add stuff on motorcycles, right? Whether it's something as little as LED lights. Yep. Of course, you always got your exhaust systems, you name it, anything and everything. And there's virtually no way to test every single aftermarket combination out there. So there's times where we don't have the right answer. We don't have the answer at all. So unfortunately, it is what it is. And you hate to come across and say that, but like I said, there's just so much out there.
Well, man, you guys are doing so, like you said, it's not just my bike. I'm not the only customer out here. There's tons of customers with tons of different bikes. You guys are doing tons of stuff. So we got to keep that in mind as well. All the different stuff out there. And think about all the different models of the same bike. I mean, every year things are changing. I don't know how you keep up with it.
Oh, it's crazy, because as fast as everything changes, just when you think you've got the answer, and the next question comes, and it's like, holy cow.
Oh, man, I can see it.
Yeah.
Well, really quickly, before I miss a few people, I want to say a huge thanks to Mike Bodine for your super chat.
Thanks, Bodine.
Also, Baggers and Brews.
What's
I appreciate
up,
your
boys?
super chat also. And then Gilbert, it's good to see you on here. Of course, your super chat.
Hello,
Thank you.
Gilbert. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Maybe out there on the road. I hope you're safe. I hope you guys are enjoying Eric here. As you can tell, he's a cool cat. They all are. Very knowledgeable guys. These people are the people you can talk to. I mean, when you talk about suspension, and I'm not going to lie, there's different suspension out there. But like sitting here talking to Eric and the boys and the ladies up there too, you'll fall in love with the people. And then you're going to see their product and what they're doing. And they're working hard. And they're everyday people, man. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
And, it's not no smoke and mirrors. It's legit.
So if you guys are just joining us, we're just going over a few questions that we gathered up from our Instagram post a couple of days ago. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the side comments there, and we'll make sure we get to them. But another question I wanted to ask was, does the Revo Arc raise the bike from stock height? The Revo
Good question. Good question. So in the Revo Arc, especially, I'll focus primarily on the touring models.
All right.
So the Revo Arc would produce in a 13 and a 14-inch length. And so the majority of the newer touring models come from the factory of the 12-inch shock. Okay. But the reason that we've gone with that 13 is because the Ultras, that is the standard length shock, is a 13-inch shock. With the common chassis between the Ultra, Street Glide, the Road Glide, and the Road King, that's an easy transformation. You can put a 13 on there and pick up that extra inch of travel and gain ride comfort, ride quality, and it doesn't significantly raise the motorcycle. A lot of guys get a little bit gun shy when they hear that you're going to put a 1 inch longer shock on, but then that is, like I said, a common misconception. Once the sag is set correctly for rider weight or rider and passenger weight, we want that shock to sit right back down to 12 inches. So really, yes, static, sitting on the side stand, yeah, it's going to look a little bit taller, maybe 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah, I know when we put ours on, like that was one of the things, because I'm not that tall a guy. I'm 6 foot tall. So, you know, I was like, what's it going to do? And when I sat on it, the first little bit, I thought, well, maybe a little bit I could tell, but it was nothing that I was like, holy shit, this is totally different. I didn't really notice it at all. The stance, when I walked up to it, I did look at it and I was like, it may set a little different. But once we got loaded and stuff, but like you said, it's no worry about it all. Y'all got it right. I mean, it's definitely right.
Yeah. And a caveat on that question, you know, like I said, does the Revo arc raise the back of the bike?
Yeah.
If you go with the 14-inch, yes, it will pick the back of the bike up.
Okay.
But there's a few other extenuating circumstances. Not everybody can put a 14-inch Revo arc on the back of their bagger.
Right.
And I'll just cover that because we've got a captive audience here. So if anybody's thinking about it, in order to put a 14-inch on the back of any of the baggers, you have to have some sort of a short 2-into-1 exhaust, something where the muffler exits ahead of the rear axle. Because the 14-inch shock will actually move the swing arm down, and even with stock mufflers, stock duals, or if you have a set of aftermarket dual mufflers, the axle will actually touch the backside of the mufflers. So if anybody out there is thinking about a 14-inch, you need a short 2-into-1, something where it's, like I said, exits ahead of the rear axle.
That's some good info right there.
So speaking of that, we've got Mike Moore that just asked in the side comments there. He said, I put the Revo A on my 16 Street Glide Special plus a Saddleman Road Sofa seat. Now I'm sitting a little high. Would it hurt handling and ride if I was to put a lowering kit on it?
Gotcha. So we're not big fans of lowering kits.
Okay.
And we don't advocate them. Biggest reason for that is if you look at what a lowering kit does, it actually moves the shock mounting point back on the swing arm. What that essentially does, it gives the swing arm more leverage to work against the shock. So in a lot of cases, first of all, it's changing the geometry that we've intended the shock to work in. Second thing is a guy that maybe has had a setup, say he needed a standard rate spring because of his weight or his combined weight with him and his passenger. Now, with that shock relocated, that standard rate spring may not be enough. And so they actually need a heavy duty spring. So there's just a lot of little things there that we don't like about lowering kits. So that's our stance.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. So another question, and I've heard this a lot. First, Greg from Michigan says hello.
What's up?
And he says, I have a 2021 Limited. My legs are too short. Need to lower it. What shock should I go with? So he does want to lower it. Or want that lowering effect, of course, but with the benefits of the shocks.
Sure. So there's always guys out there. I shouldn't say guys. There's always customers out there. There's riders out there that are under tall, a little vertically challenged. And depending on how much drop they actually need, they may be that perfect candidate for one of our air ride systems.
Okay.
Because 90% of the riders out there that are in that segment have their comfort level probably isn't where it needs to be, and confidence-wise too. So if we can give them that confidence and comfort in a parking lot, just even if it's just backing the bike into a parking spot or when they're stoplight to stoplight,
right?
Air the system down, you can actually get the back of the bike down about 2.5 inches.
Oh, dang. That's a lot.
Yeah, I've actually, we've talked to people out and about, and they've loved them. And I mean, even some of the dudes that they have their ladies ride with them, they got them because it helps them as well, getting on and off.
There's really three primary customers out there for the air ride. One is that short rider, whether it's a guy or a gal that's a little bit short in the inseam, needs that confidence or wants that confidence. That, of course, is always our primary crowd. The second crowd is where you've got a rider and a passenger that are probably legitimately splitting their time 50-50 between solo and two up.
Yep.
And rather than taking the saddlebag off, making a spring adjustment every time they're, transitioning from solo to two up and vice versa, they can just run that air compressor, put some more air in the system, or release air, however they need to do it. So it's a convenience factor for those riders and passengers like that. And then, of course, you've always got the third segment that's the guy that just wants to roll up in front of his local pub, air the thing down, give it that slam stance, and let it look real cool out there.
Absolutely.
So, that's the three crowds that we cater to there. But I'll caveat off of that real quick. We get a lot of questions about, can I ride the bike with the suspension all the way down? Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely you can, but we don't advise it just for the fact that you don't have the suspension. If you've got the air completely depleted from the system, you're basically riding on the bump stop of the shock. Mm-hmm. And so for that guy that needs it stoplight to stoplight or in a parking lot, for sure. But ideally, when you get out on the road, we want that system aired back up to where it sits at that 12-inch eye-to-eye measurement, just like our Revo A's or Revo Arcs, with the seg set properly. Mm-hmm. And so we always kind of refer to it as a parking lot setting and a ride setting. So,
well, we get questions a lot about that too, with the A and the Arc there, the difference and what would be better. And of course, that depends on what riding you're doing or how you're riding. Of course, we have the A's, and they've been doing great. But I love seeing the canisters, though, man. The look of that is just, I love it. And so, if you were having to pick between those, what would you tell people?
That's a good question, and it's something that we answer probably 100 times a day.
I bet you do.
The Revo Arc is of course our newest, latest creation. Has the most adjustability of anything that we offer, between of course the compression adjustment, the rebound adjustment, the spring adjustment. So the beauty of the Revo Arc is it is definitely a performance-based shock, but you can still tune it for comfort, just depending on how you actually open and developing up on the compression and rebound circuits. Is it the shock that everyone needs? Probably not. But you know what? If you've got that option, why not go for it? But we always tell guys, the Revo A has been our bread and butter for the last 6 years. It is hands down been, that's our flagship touring shock. And for probably 75% of the riders out there, it'll do everything they want and need it to do.
Then we'll just to be able to adjust it like you can for us two up, which I've experienced. Taking her off the bike and then riding it, it's a totally because I'll do that. Like she gets off, we'll throw stuff off. I'll get on the bike and zip down the road. And I'm like, whoa, bike's different. I mean, it's totally different, So, and I love though when we're loaded and where we got it set. Like you go into that corner and it digs in that corner and out. Now you take her off and you don't adjust it, you can feel it more stiff. So the adjustment is like there. You can fine tune those, and what I'm used to. And the change the ride for her was amazing because it helped me, of course. But she was like, I'm not hurting as bad. I'm like, my back's not hurting as bad because after 500, 600, 700 miles, you're gonna start getting stiff. Yeah. But to ride that now with that setup, it's my bike's totally different bike. I've said it a million times to people, and they come up to me. We had it 2 weeks ago. We was over that picture of Harley Davidson. People were coming up to me talking about y'all's suspension, and they're like, TJ, is that how you feel? And I'm like, yeah, man, that's when I'm telling you on the videos, that's how I feel. Get on my bike and ride it. Get on one that's set up. It'll make a believer out So we do get that question a lot between the two shocks, and I know y'all get that as well.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just I'll kind of finish that little segment up with our standard Revo. You know, a lot of guys will ask the question, "Hey, do I really need the Revo A?" And not everybody needs Revo A either. And so we'll steer them right onto the standard Revo, and they're not sacrificing anything by that standard Revo. That thing it still has all the same build characteristics and the build quality of the Revo A's and the Revo R's. It's 6061 billet aluminum. It's all CNC machined, 100% American made, lifetime warranty. The only thing it doesn't have is the rebound adjuster. Right. So guys will say, what's it ride like compared to the Revo A? The way we designed it and engineered that shock was we basically went with an average internal valving to mimic or match the Revo A with the rebound adjuster in the number 3 position. So,
I didn't know that.
Yep.
So much I don't know.
Wow.
It's a great ride, and like I say, for the guy that doesn't want to spend $1,000 on rear shocks, he can go for $725.
Well, see, and we got that question. There's a question in here. They're talking about if y'all would build something cheaper, and kind of a Kano line type, and I'm sure it's on here somewhere. Which y'all do have a great cheaper
different price points there.
Shock there. But I do want to tell you guys, if you're watching, you're gonna pay for what you're gonna get what you pay for. I mean, at the end of the day, we've done it with a lot of things over the years. I guess my point of it now, as I'm getting older and with experience and stuff, just go ahead and save up your money a little bit more. Do what you need to do, and go ahead and spend the money. You're not going to be disappointed. You could get something cheaper. We've all done it off Amazon. We've got that cheaper product, and then you don't know where it comes from. And then when you get it in your hand, you're like, holy shit, it just don't feel right. We've all done it. So what I'm saying with Legend Suspension, they are selling a quality product. You're getting a quality product with people that's going to stand behind the product. People that you're going to be able to reach out and talk to, and they're going to tell you their firsthand experience with these shocks. Then you got people like us out here riding it day in, day out. I mean, this is how we're making our living, is off those shocks. I mean, we're riding that thing, or we couldn't ride as long as we could. We couldn't enjoy the ride. So, we talk about that a lot, price points. People, like, man, I might spend some money. Yeah, but you're going to have something you're going to be happy with. And whenever you got a problem and you spend the money and you fix it and you never think about that problem again, it's gone. It disappears. That's what they'll do for you. You'll just totally forget it. You're done. You can move on to something else you want to do to your bike. So that's kind of how I feel about that.
And the other side of that too is a lot of guys get kind of, wrapped around the axle as far as, hey, do I need to do everything at once? That's a common question that we get. You've probably heard it too.
Yep.
And we always recommend starting with the rear suspension, because 80% of your comfort comes from the back of the motorcycle. You'll enjoy it. Your passenger will enjoy it. Start there. By all means, start at the rear. You might put it in and put the rear shocks on and be like, wow, I love my motorcycle. I love it just like it is.
Yep.
Maybe it's not in the budget to do the front end for 6 months down the road.
Yep.
But by all means, if you start anywhere, start with the rear and then transition to the front. There's nothing saying you have to do it all at the same time.
No, and I mean, that's what we did. We rode a while and rode to the rear, and I thought, this is my experience. And I was like, my God, my bike can't get no better. I mean, this thing's awesome. But then, we did go ahead and do that front end. And I'm just going to tell you guys, like Eric's saying, get your ass end done. And then work on getting that front end done. And when you do, send me the message and tell me how happy you are.
Yes.
Because it's going to change that bike. But like you said, yeah, just go at it as you can. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, we've got families to feed, we've got things to do. But if you're gonna do it with legend. I mean, honestly, it's proved over and over again the capability of being what you guys say it is. Like to us, I ride it every day, and when I get on it and get off of it, I'm just like, damn, that thing rides good.
Yeah. And Steph, you probably can attest to it. A lot of times the passengers or the passenger takes the brunt of the road.
Yeah.
All the cracks, all the uneven bridge joints, the drain basins, all that stuff that upsets the motorcycle. The passenger is the one that's sitting right above the rear axle and taking all that punishment.
Yeah, my quads would get a good workout every once in a while. But now, even just going over railroad tracks, even bridges now that I'm used to going over, and I know that I'm going to expect a rough ride, or I know that this spot in the road is rough, and so I'm going to prepare and brace myself.
Pucker that ass.
Yeah. It's like, it's a breeze now, and I can tell a huge difference. Not just like, you can tell more handling. I'm more like, I can feel the comfort level has totally changed.
We have some roads around here, and still we'll go over that spot.
And I will brace myself.
Yeah, we still do it. And it will go over. Yeah, we go over it, and we're like, shit, Legends is on.
But it's going to take a minute for my brain to retrain. Like, I don't have to do that shit. I can I can relax and just enjoy the ride. And and I'm not just saying that. That's like, I can't say it enough. Like, I don't have to work out my quads as much.
Yeah, I think if when she sees Jesse, he's going to get a big hug because it's really changed our experience on that bike.
Well, and Chase and I, we often use the, I guess you could say the catchphrase. We'll look right at the wife or the girlfriend and say, "You're probably going to start buying him flowers."
Yeah, man. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, he deserves a
because we talk about that a lot. We don't talk about enough is two-up riding. There's so many women out there that are riding. I mean, this girl right here has a lot of miles, and I'll be honest, she'll outride me. And I really did notice it after we got the shocks on. Like, she just sat comfortable. She sat. You every once in a while, before I hear her say, "My knees are starting to hurt, my back's hurting." After we got everything set up, like now we're riding, I'm like, "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing good." I'm like, "You want to stop?" "No, I'm fine." I'm like, "Shit." So I'm like, "Damn it, man.
I need to stop."
Yeah, I need to rest, honey. But,
so I was going to say a couple of questions that we've got here kind of go hand in hand. So one person wants to know if you guys are going to be set up at Daytona for Bike Week. And another person's asking is, what can they set up an appointment to get the suspension put on in your shop? Which we know, of course, Sturgis, a lot of people have their suspension put on. Is it like really action packed as far as like needing to plan ahead, or like when they're at the rally in Sturgis, can they call up there and make an appointment? What is that type of
sure?
Like,
So first question, we will not be in Daytona.
Okay.
Just because with all the situations with this pandemic going on, I'd be ready to go. But as a company, we decided it's in our best interest to stay home and just focus on the task at hand.
Yep.
We'll let this thing blow over, and hopefully by next fall we can be back there and in presence there. But we've been telling guys and gals, if they're interested, while they're in Daytona, go see the guys over at Ross Myers.
Okay.
They've got a ton of our stuff in stock, and they've actually been, the last 3 years Chase has been down there.
Yep.
They're very well versed in the product, and they can help you out. So even though our presence won't be there, they've got you covered.
Well, we'll be there too, guys. Come on by and see us. We'll be down there. We'll be at Bruce Ross Myers, and like I said, they're ready to rip in there. They'll definitely hook you up because I've seen your products absolutely everywhere in there.
For sure.
You can get whatever you want.
As far as Sturgis goes, we've actually, every year we've tried to streamline our process for Sturgis.
Right.
And last year actually worked out really well. You would have been, one of those things that we went into it with the whole pandemic going, all right, how do we socially distance? How do we make this more convenient? Yeah, absolutely. If somebody is interested in having their suspension installed while they're in Sturgis, we're actually going to have an online portal that you can literally go in and schedule your appointment.
Okay.
That'll probably go live somewhere probably within about 30 days prior to Sturgis.
Okay.
So if a guy knows that he's coming in, he's going to be there the Wednesday before Sturgis and wants to get in and have the front and rear installed, he can go in, basically, look at the schedule, or we can look at the schedule and we'll get them locked in.
That's
no problem.
awesome.
So, and it isn't an all-day affair. A lot of guys get concerned about, if I have suspension done, are you going to tie my bike up for the entire day or half a day?
Mm-hmm.
We can literally turn anybody around within about 3 hours on the full system. So, front and rear.
So we've got Adam Moto 83 who's asking, can they get Legends in the UK?
Yes,
Okay.
they can. We actually have 2 or 3 distributors over in Europe, Parts Europe being the primary.
Really?
Also, Parts Europe carries all of our stuff, Custom Chrome Europe, W&W. So there's definitely sources to get Legend suspensions in the UK.
Very cool. Okay.
Did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Wow.
Let's see here. Okay, Chris Polly, who's also a member,
Hello.
he wants to know, do they have them for other bikes like Yamaha, Indian Scout? Like, do you offer for more than just Harley Davidson?
Gotcha. So right now, the only model that we offer a front and rear system for outside of the Harley Davidson empire is the Indian Scout.
Okay.
We've got a set of Revo A's for the Scouts. We also have an axle cartridge system for the Scouts.
Very cool.
That is the only offering that we do have currently outside of.
With saying that, Eric, are y'all thinking about doing more with other bikes?
Absolutely. It's definitely on the horizon.
Little at a time. It's like you got to do the ass end and do the front end.
That's right. And how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
That's exactly right, man.
So,
Yeah, y'all are growing and doing cool stuff. I can only imagine, just like we were saying, staying up with just Harley Davidson models alone. And y'all got your hands full.
Well, yeah, and you guys can attest, coming up and visiting us last year, I think sometimes people think Legend Suspensions is this, facility that's 4 city blocks long and there's 10,000 people that work here.
No.
We're still a small hometown deal, and everybody is, basically rowing the boat in the same direction as hard as we can go. But for a small company, we're
Man,
on the gas.
I know. When I rode, and I've rode by it before, and I'd seen it the year before last. And then when we went, Chase was out there, and I rode up. We kind of went by and came back around and looked, and I was like, holy shit. This thing ain't that big. And then I walked in, and then, of course, just feeling the atmosphere and seeing how y'all got it set up. I mean, it's legit. Like, the boys were back there putting stuff together, and it's an assembly line, but not what I was expecting. But there again, man, that's why I love it. I mean, it's legit. It's the real deal. It's like watching, like when I went there and seen what was going on, it's like seeing something grow right in front of your eyes. I mean, I see big potential and amazing things you guys are doing and are going to do.
Yeah.
It's exciting for us to be part of y'all in our own little way,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, next question, Mama?
Yes. Okay. This one's a little bit more in depth and it's way over my head. So, okay, question is, why isn't there a spring rate option when purchasing the Axio High Performance Fork Cartridge Kit, unlike when buying the Revo Arc rear suspension and with front replacement spring upgrades with other brands? Does
Gotcha.
that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
That's easy. That's
Okay.
easy. So basically, the way that we've designed the AXO cartridge system with the spring rates that we're utilizing, those cartridges are preload adjustable based on rider weight. So basically, that cartridge comes set out of the box for riders up to 250 pounds. If we've got a rider that's 350, 400, 450, we've got enough adjustability in that spring to go up to 450 pounds of rider weight. So, that's why we don't offer a secondary spring rate for the Axos, because we've got enough adjustability with the preload to cover it. So
I like it.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Nailed that one.
Long question, but that was a good short answer that made sense after you explained it.
That's what she said.
Okay, here's another question. I have the Revo Air. Okay, the Revo Air on the back of my bike and just bought the front suspension. I weigh 200 pounds. Should I leave the adjustment at 0 turns? I ride the mountains in Tennessee and North Carolina when I can, but mostly straight, horribly paved roads in Indiana.
Gotcha. Yes, I would leave it at 0.
Okay.
Basically, as it's set out of the box, one of the biggest mistakes that we'll see riders or customers or dealers make when installing our AXO cartridges is, instead of sitting down and reading the fine print, going through the different scenarios there, they'll take and they'll go, all right, I weigh 200, my wife weighs 150, I'm going to set it for 350 pounds. Well, guess what? Your wife isn't sitting on the handlebars.
Stiff.
Yeah.
And so passenger weight, luggage weight, any of that extra is primarily being handled by the rear suspension. So that's why we never take any of that into effect or into account when setting that preload for the front end.
Yeah, I remember Chase calling me. He said, "Now, TJ, listen to me." He said, "Just remember these numbers," and you said it just like that. And I said, "Yes, sir." And then he went over that. He goes, "We get that a lot." He said, "We've already thought about this stuff." And the layout you guys have, like on your install, your instructions, it's great. Like, I love it. Y'all took time to do all that. It's really cool how y'all do all that stuff. Like I said, y'all are really going above and beyond. Most stuff that you get, it's just a little floppy piece of paper. I don't even want to look at it. I mean, take the time, look at it. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so just to kind of finish up, someone wants to know if you guys offer any military or first responder discount, and then also it kind of goes hand in hand. Someone else had asked if there's a affiliate code that we can use that tells them what sales came from you guys. So a couple of people in our responses or in our posts had said that they purchased Legends from our video and stuff like that. So just kind of follow up. What is out there as far as, do you guys offer affiliate codes? Should they just let you guys know that the Ornery One sent you guys? And then do you guys offer discounts for military first responders?
Gotcha. So I would say, those that are tuned in tonight, if you're interested, we don't have an affiliate code right now, but that's actually a great idea. But by all means, if you do, reach out to us, let us know that you watched us here and get this information from this live cast that we're on. As far as discounts go, the only discount that we do offer is for military and first responders.
Okay.
I myself am a retired 24-year Army National Guard guy here.
Really?
Well, thank you so much.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And one of our other guys here is actually a Black Hawk pilot.
Wow.
That works in the building. Yeah, in the National Guard as well. And so we've got there's a lot of loyalty to our service members and first responders out there. And so,
as we should.
We always, try to steer our customers to the dealers, because the brick and mortar stores are the ones that are keeping all of this going, right? And so, by all means, when people ask us, hey, can we get a discount if I want the front and rear or whatever, we said, go see your local dealer. more than likely, if you walk in there and going to say that you're going to throw down $2,500, they're I would hope they'd work with them a little bit, give them a 10% discount or something like that. But that's what's keeping the lights on and the doors open and people employed in those shops. And so we always try to direct those guys to, like I said, brick and mortar stores. But definitely if there's a first responder or a military member out there that, whether they're active, retired, we want to take care of them. So we do offer that.
That's great, man. I love that. Totally respect that for sure. Just another good thing about Legends, guys. Dig it. I've got a question. Is there anybody on here right now that has bought Legends suspension because of the Ornery One? If you have, let me know. And the first one to let me know and give me your address, I'm going to send you a Legends hat. Because
and an Ornery One shirt.
That's right.
They are amazing.
Because I just want to say thank you, because you guys watching our videos and taking our recommendation means a lot to us as well as Legends. We're all working hard to provide content and great product. I know there's some of you guys out there that have. I don't know if you're watching, but if someone is, I'll send you a hat and a shirt. And just to say thanks. We appreciate you guys tuning into our videos, like I said. And one thing, Eric, I was going to ask you, if folks have questions, can they call y'all?
So, it's a good question. So, going back to a little earlier when I was saying the size of the company and such, we don't have a 24-hour toll-free hotline, like some companies do. And so there's literally anywhere from 2 to 3 of us that cover the entire world of customer service. So we try to direct everybody through email.
Okay.
Or if they go to our website, in the bottom right-hand corner of the website, there is a small little tab there that says, send us a message. If we're online, it'll actually say, chat with us, and you can click on that, and it's an interactive chat window. So we try to do that because, not that we don't want to talk to every single guy and gal out there on their bikes and suspensions, but here's the thing that always tends to happen. We get into a conversation, and next thing you know, we're off in the weeds talking about their 124 cubic inch motor, Metzler tires, you name it, and what could be a 10-minute conversation turns into a 30-minute conversation. We just literally can't cover the entire world like that. And so a lot of times we'll roll them through the chat window or through the email. Along with that, we've opened up a free ask questions segment on our website. A lot of guys have been able to find their questions and answer them with just watching and looking through there. Plus, there's a ton of new tech videos that we're launching every week. Tech Tuesday on YouTube. So if anybody has any questions, Chase has been doing an outstanding job on those. And most of those are anywhere from a 3 to 7 minute segment. And, if a guy gets on there and just goes in, searches Legend Suspensions, subscribe to our page, you'll see every single Tech Tuesday that comes out from here going forward. There's a lot of great content there. So one way or the other, we can definitely help you out. If you do call us and we don't answer, please leave a voicemail. We will call you.
Yeah.
But
and
just be patient.
Yeah.
And you guys, your email is service, or is it sales at Legends? Service at legendsuspensions.com.
Correct.
Okay.
Legend is singular, suspensions is plural.
Yes. I made that mistake a while back. I was emailing a few of you guys up there, and I think it was actually Chase's email that I had in my system with no S on the end.
and nobody was answering.
Yeah, it came back.
Yeah.
Luckily, it came back. It was like error, didn't go through, but yeah.
So I just call him Buggy.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I did want to bring up, though, because we get that a lot. Like when we called, well, here again, guys, these guys they're not sitting on the phone. They're out there busting their ass. The ladies in the office are an amazing group of ladies. Absolutely love them to death. So let's keep in mind what's happening. What do you got?
Yeah, really quickly, I wanted to give a shout out to Moonshine. He said, Eric, you were kind enough to call me back because I'm an older guy and did not want to deal with the computer. So I thank you and your company for doing that.
Aww.
So yeah, call you guys, leave a voicemail. Somebody will reach back out to him. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Moonshine, for sharing that with us also.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. It's just like everything that we're doing. All these companies want to hear positive feedback, but if there's something that's going on that's bugging you, let them know. They're working to move forward with things. Without us, there would be no Legends. Without y'all, there would be no Ornery One. So, you guys are keeping us going. We want to know everything. And, of course, you can't go along with everybody, but, boy, you can try, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, awesome. Eric, thank you so much again for coming on and answering our questions. If you guys watching have any other questions, you can leave them in the comments of this video, and we'll try and make sure that they're followed up. Of course, you guys can reach out to Legends by the email or by their phone number. Like you said, their small outfit. Leave them a message, call them back, or call them, of course, during hours, not, midnight time frame, but...
They're really a pretty big outfit. They're just all working.
Yeah, they're all working.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Eric, I hope we get to see you. Probably we'll get to see you this year in Sturgis. Maybe
For sure.
we can pull you away from work for a second. I do want to thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on tonight and spending your Friday night with the Ornery Ones.
I'm going to answer your question, too, about that motorcycle.
Good. Let's hear it, dude.
All right. So I've been thinking about this throughout this whole broadcast.
Wow, you can.
I'm going to go back a long time ago, and I'm going to go back to the very first street bike I ever rode.
Yeah.
One of my very good buddies, his dad used to restore pre-1950 Harley Davidsons. And the very first Harley I ever rode, I was 13 years old. He let me ride a 74 cubic inch Harley Davidson flathead, 1937 flathead.
Wow.
And all full on period correct rocker clutch, hand shift. And I'll never forget it. I mean, as long as I live. The man, Mr. Bill, if you're watching, thank you. Because he definitely molded me and guided me into where I'm at today and my love for motorcycles. So,
well, man,
if I could park one in the garage, it'd be that.
That's awesome because, what we're doing right now is we're trying to reach a younger demographic as well. We've got a boy coming up as well, Kendrick. He's 18. We're looking at his first street bike. But it's funny you mention that because we built him a little chopper. And I had a chopper that I built, but I couldn't get it started that day that we were having a show down here on the square, and I wanted both of us to ride in.
Sure.
Well, I was having problems with my old Suzuki, and we had his little chopper ready, and a buddy of mine, Terry, is a reason I got out and went riding around with him and hopping around. He had it was a 76 shovel is what he had. I say 77 because that's where I was born.
Yeah.
That was the first Harley I ever rode, was that 76. Stripped down Paco frame, just nothing but a seat and a motor, chopper. And it just set a tone with me. I'd always dreamed about Harley Davidsons. I never rode one, but that was my first Harley Davidson I rode. And I rode it in with Bub into a car show with his little chopper. I'll never forget it. And it's still with me today. And like you were talking about that, the take time with the younger generation is so important. Because you never know what what you may be installing in them, and we want that,
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, that's
absolutely.
badass. You were really thinking on that. Love it.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, thank you again so much, and I think we have a winner for the person who got suspension.
Do we really?
Yes, and luckily, and coincidentally, his name is Biker Trash.
Biker Trash. Yeah. Right on, man. So I want to ask. So he got some legends because of us, huh?
Yep. That's what he said.
Super badass. If
Very
you
cool.
will message us later with your address and size of shirt, we'll be sending you a Legends hat and the Ornery One shirt to say thank you.
All right. Well, we are going to stay on here and chat a little bit. Again, Eric, thank you so much. And yeah, it's a Friday night, and we appreciate you spending it with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you so much, Eric. We'll see you somewhere up there.
Sounds great.
See you, buddy.
Ride safe.
Dang, that was cool.
Very, very cool.
Man, that went so great. I hope you guys like that. Steph is going to get everything settled in here.
1 second.
Let Eric get back to doing his thing. Man, he was a legit looking dude, right?
Yeah, very,
had nice
very cool.
hairline. Man, I wish I had that hair.
Okay, 1 second.
Mine's everywhere else but my head. All right, Steph is getting everything lined back in, guys. Sorry. Be patient with us. I hope that helped. And I know it answers some questions I didn't even know I had questions about.
Yeah, it was really informative. Let me just make sure that I've got the right windows closing here before I do a wrong click.
Bear with us, y'all. A lot of clicking going on.
Okay, all right.
So we back at this camera or this camera?
We're back at this camera, but
Okay.
I can plug that one in.
All right. So, super cool, and I like the fact that somebody bought and was on here, suspension, watching.
Yeah.
That means a lot to me.
It was
Feels
very
like
cool.
feels like a circle being completed.
Not a,
happy,
not a square, but a circle.
but a circle because there's no square and corners. All right, here we are. We're back over here.
Fixing it.
Little widescreen, get some angles going on. I dig this better. Seeing this over here. All right, guys, we'll read some comments. You want to catch up on some stuff over here?
Yeah, so we've got the beard.
The beard.
He is excited and can't wait to get his legends. A lot of you guys are saying that y'all are, of course, saving up for going to have, that you guys have plans to get them installed. I know, Merlot, you were talking about how your fronts are actually being installed at this moment. I'm having a shop do the front end tomorrow.
That's what
And a few small other things should have them do the rears as well, as I already have them in, or can I ride it home? A whole lot. I just really screwed that up. I'm having a shop do the front end tomorrow and a few other small things. Should I have them do the rears as well?
Oh, because you were talking about doing the rears yourself. Well, I mean, you can do
Or
the rears.
can I ride it home and do the rear myself?
Yeah. You could do that. I mean, it's, pretty. But, I mean, if they're there and they'll do you right, I mean, make sure you get everything set up right, As far as setting, you heard Eric talking about that, which you could read. You can see the instructions. But like he was saying, pay attention to that because it'll make your ride. Because I've heard some people like, I didn't ride right, and we got to talking, well, their setting wasn't right for how much they weighed and all the jazz about that. So make sure you pay attention to that because these are fine-tuned products. But yeah, let me know though, because I'm curious as hell what you think the first time you ride. If you can record, or right when you get off the bike.
Yeah, give us your first, right off the bike, raw emotions and how you feel. And
definitely, guys, because that's what I've been learning, like with everything that we do. Like, we make sure if I change something, I record right at that moment because it's fresh on my mind.
It's that new car smell. You'll never, you can buy the other stuff, that makes it, but it's like, it takes you back, but it's not like
the new car.
That new car smell, And
you can't go back and, have that experience again. It won't come off genuine. So anytime that you do something for the first time, record it. Kids.
Yeah. A couple of questions here. Okay. Pretty important. Baggers and Brews wants to know where your Yoo-hoo is.
Yeah, the Yoo-hoo. So actually,
has been replaced.
I've got a protein shake that I've been drinking on. We can get it down, and then just a little Dr. Pepper tonight. The Yoo-hoo. I think I ended up drinking 4 last night. And then I drank some chocolate milk earlier.
So he's, trying to cut back. Let's see. Another one is, has anyone else noticed that TJ has only worn one hat tonight?
Of course, yes. It's all about the legends. So, just, paying my hats off to them, and I just appreciate them coming on, Eric coming on, and guys, we've got to know the ladies and all of them out there. Like, trust me, they're good people, and they want to do right by you. And like Eric was saying, they just can't talk to everybody because they are a big outfit, but in a way they're not. They've all working their ass off. So
they're big, but they're, as far as like he said, there's like 3 or 5 of them.
I don't. They're just doing.
That's covering customer service for the whole.
They're doing an extreme amount of work for the little, for the many of people that they have working there, which brings me back to Custom Dynamics. There are 30 people somewhere around there, and
I think
how much
like 33 people or 36.
Yeah, and what they're doing. It's just like these companies are legit. They're fine tuned and they're honed in and they're doing right. And so, yeah, I'm just wearing this hat tonight.
And Brandon, and Gilbert knows this. I butcher people's names, so I'm not even gonna try and pronounce your last name. But Brandon V. He said, "Dude, I just found you guys Monday on YouTube and have been hooked. Keep it up."
Oh, thanks. No shit.
Thank you.
On a Monday.
Thank you.
On a Monday, and then here you are with us on Friday, and we're hanging out with Legend Suspension with Lord Eric.
From the land of legends.
From the land of legends. Casting his knowledge of suspension all over us. Super intelligent dude. You
with
can
the
tell.
Little wand.
Oh, I did the magic.
I know, but I'm thinking of a wand.
No.
Lord Eric.
Lord Eric.
Has a wand, not sprinkle dust.
He needs a sword. All right, let's move on.
Original Jimbo, he wants to say no deuce ickies tonight.
No, and I've been talking about that. So, this was more of an informational video, and out of respect to legends, and we're talking here, there may be a younger generation that may be watching, wanting to learn about suspension, and I thought I wouldn't have a beverage. So I'm just, I don't know, I talked to Steph tonight about that. I was like, I think I'll just kind of hold back on the beer intake tonight, and which I haven't been drinking a whole lot here lately anyway. I'm actually getting geared up for riding season, and
he's saving it.
Well, that and I want to feel good, and I'm really working hard at feeling good and being in shape because as much riding that we do, it takes a toll on you. So, like, well, we're going to get on the health kit deal here, but I work really hard at that. So, yeah, I just thought out of respect I would do that. I know YouTube sometimes will get a little, what would you call that from them if you're drinking a beer? Sometimes they'll kind of flag that a little bit. It's like limited to kids. Come on, help me out here.
Oh, like our video would be restricted.
Yeah.
And you would probably get demonetized or something.
Yeah, we've been watching that a lot here lately, because I'm taking it very serious, I mean, we've got these companies on board with the Ornery One now, so there's times I can cut loose, and there's sometimes we just need to work a little bit. So we're working a little bit tonight. We're having a great time.
I knew this was coming, Gilbert. How do you say my last name? Super chat.
I did it one time.
You did. I don't think I ever did it. I don't know.
Gilbert. There. I'm not even going to try to do it.
That's how you
Thanks
say
for
it.
$10, though, dude. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm not going to try it.
Yeah, I know you even gave me a little rhyme type thing to remember it and how you pronounced it, and I
Been a lot of information passed through your noggin. It happens.
Yes.
So
thank you though, Gilbert.
Thanks, Gilbert. You want to catch up on anything else over there? I'm seeing some stuff, but
no.
No. Okay.
I mean, what you see is probably I deleted. I blocked someone.
Oh.
I brought the hammer down on him.
Oh.
My moderator's out there
Oh.
somewhere.
Was it the Randy dude?
Yeah, Randy
Oh,
Bridges.
Randy. Why you
Yeah.
gotta go and do that to yourself, buddy? Well, here's your air hug. It's okay.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of on the same page as we are. Can't wait till the snow melts, get out there and ride their bike. A lot of you guys have talked about you got suspension over the winter, and now you're ready to ride, of course. And then, of course, we got this freaking 18 inches of snow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a winter, hasn't it? Well, like Steph and I were saying earlier, in 2 weeks or so, we'll be heading down to Daytona for Daytona Bike Week. If you guys aren't able to get out and ride, well, we're going. We got to go. We got things to do and people to see, and you can tag along with us. We'll be rolling out of the Pick Trail Harley Davidson, where we've got the bike over there doing some stuff right now. We're going to be doing a little bit more. We have your backrest coming in from Mustang Seats.
Yes.
So I'm
excited about that.
Right, we're going to be putting that on too. We also got some covers for our lids.
Yeah, after a while, my legs I don't raise my legs high enough like that.
Yes.
I get a little lazy with my little...
So we were kicking the tops of the lids a little bit, so we're going to get those covers from Mustang to put on there and try those out. We never have. So some things are coming in when we get there.
Booga.
Hi, Booga.
And Possum, thank you so much for your super chat. He's trying Gilbert's name. This is always a fun game.
The name game.
Well, Booga, you obviously got it wrong because Gilbert laughed at you.
I can hear him laughing too.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, speaking of Daytona, though, we are going to be at a couple different places that we would love to meet up with you guys. If anyone's down there in Daytona for the bike week, we will be at Bruce Rossmeyer's throughout the week. Periodically, we're going to have that posted. Custom Dynamics is going to be down there. They were kind of on the same boat with Legends. They weren't for sure if they were going to be able to make it, but they are. They will be there, so can't wait to see them, hang out with them.
We'll be going live with them and talking about everything they got going on this year and all the new products.
Yes. And then, of course, Thursday is Willie's Chopper Show at Willie's Tropical Tattoo. They've got a chopper show there. We caught it a couple of years ago. We loved it. Absolutely had a blast there. Awesome bikes, builds. It was packed too. It wasn't just like a little bike show they put on. It is.
No, it's the gamut of people,
awesome.
Bikes. It's just it's a madhouse. It's super badass. Hopefully, I'll get to hang out a little bit. Really, I stood by him and almost got introduced, but he is a very busy man and super cool as hell. I would love to hang out with him for a bit, and then we'll be over at Burning Bike.
Yes, Burning Bike is going to be that Friday night, the 12th, and we're going to be hanging out there, catching their show, which is really neat. They built this, I don't know how big it is, bike out of wood, and you can sign it. They catch it on fire and just kind of celebrate kicking off the year.
We got to talk to him this week, too. I called him, and just making sure we were clear for recording and hanging out. And he's like, hell yeah, TJ, come on, do whatever you want to. They're not going to let us fly a drone, of course. But, and I asked him how things were looking as far as, right now, this far out, 2 weeks or so before Daytona, due to COVID and stuff. And he said they are booked like they were last year and the year before. He said the only thing that may be different is people coming in from overseas. There are some restrictions as far as travel as that. But he said, there looks like it's just hammered down, and it's going to be a good time. They've got a lot going on. Of course, it looks like it's going to be an amazing time. We appreciate Florida letting that continue on. So we'll be there. We're going to be at which bar are we going to be at?
So yeah, that Saturday we're going to be at Iron Horse, 2 o'clock. And we're going to do a little meetup there. Anyone that's there that Saturday, I know we're going to be there probably a week and a half, I think it's going to be. So if you guys are there later on in the rally, make sure you guys stop by. I just put our link down there in the comments. Ken had asked if we have our own schedule during Daytona, what places and stuff. So that's our link to our schedule. We're going to put more in depth there as it comes, as far as exactly where we're going to be. Right now, I know for sure we're going to make it to the Chopper Show on Thursday, the 11th, Burning Bike on the 12th of that evening, and we're going live, obviously, because that's Friday night, and then that Saturday we're going to have that meetup. I believe Monday and Tuesday we may be in Port Charlotte, so a little bit outside of Daytona, but we'll see.
We'll work on details and share with you guys. You can follow along with us as this progresses too, and we'll post it. I want to say, hey Rose, how the hell are you? We miss you, kid. Yes.
Thank you for your super chat.
Thank you, sweetheart. I hope all's well. That's just a cool little tech right there. Hope you're doing well there, Rose. Thank you, sweetheart.
Original Jimbo wants to know, what is the painting behind us?
Oh, yeah. So, Steph and I are really passionate about New Orleans. We've been traveling New Orleans since we got together. We actually got this painting in 2011. We got it on Frenchman Square there. Jackson Square, sorry. So the square, they let artists hang their pictures up around on the fence. And we've got art from little places wherever we go. So we got to know him a couple times going down there. And just a young dude that did some paintings. He did it with air cans, I think. Most of it, some of it. So, it's just a dude playing the saxophone underneath a nightlight, down on Bourbon Street, however you want to. I don't know where he's at exactly, but it's just super cool. We love the brass, getting down in there and hearing the music.
Of course, we have our lovely
Bentley,
who's always hanging out. Every Friday night, he is here, right here. This is kind of his spot to lay when we're in here.
Yeah, anyway, that cat. A big old fluff ball.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, so we got the 2011, and it's just, oh man, that's been 10 years ago.
No.
Holy shit.
James Tate said that they've got a sweet bar at the Burning Bike Place.
Yes.
That's very cool. Can't wait to hang out there and get to
I've been poking
check
around.
out the...
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
Very cool. All right. What other questions? Or what else would you like to share?
Whew. Good gosh, man. It's been a whirlwind around us here lately. We're getting ready to go. Our riding season. Got a couple things in fighting right now. One thing is we're trying to get graphics done on the bike. I want to do something cool to the bike and put our sponsors on there. I was thinking so we didn't just have to put their sticker on the side of the bike, but we were just running into the wall with that. I've talked to 4 different places now. So that is what we're up against right now, some graphics on the bike. Hopefully we get that worked out on a week that long. It may even come down to Steph and I coming up with some way to do it ourselves.
Which looks like that's going to happen.
Yeah, so we've got some pretty cool ideas for some inlays on the side of the bike there. Not a wrap or anything, but kind of mute, kind of go with that denim gray. So that right now is what's on my mind, because we've got to get the sponsors on the bike. So some stuff we're learning, some things we're up against. Time now is getting down. Curious to see what the weather is going to be like as we leave out.
I don't even want to think about it.
That's just going to determine the route that we take. We may go due south, just haul ass down to get to the coast and ride down, might ride 90 a little bit. I don't know. Love 90.
Gilbert, thank you so much for your super chat again. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gilbert.
So we've got BC Truck, BC Blades. Just watched your Pig Trail Eureka Springs video. My wife and I are planning a trip there this spring.
Oh, wow. Yeah, guys.
Love it.
I don't know if you've ever been here before. If not, you're in for a treat. When you're over there, definitely go visit Pig Trail Harley Davidson. They have a remote store there in Eureka. And then, of course, our main store is in Rogers. An amazing group of people doing some cool stuff, and it's a great dealership, and it's cool to walk into. It's a pretty cool place. Go say hi to all of our crew over there. Get out and ride those roads, and let us know what you think about it.
Also, Two Wheels in a Row Discovering Southwest Kansas. Wanted to know about our members only next week. Are we going to be going live videos? So yeah, we do go live every Friday night. If you guys are watching, we go live here Friday nights, public. Come join us. But we also, as a member perk, we do a live video once a month with just our members. We go live. Last month we did a Zoom meeting with all of us, which turned out to be really cool, I think. I know a lot of you guys loved it, so I think we're going to go ahead and continue with that.
I mean,
Maybe do another Zoom video with you guys.
Yeah, so I don't know. You guys want to do that again? Let us know.
Yeah. So maybe Desert Rose, she's kind of my Discord guru. If you guys are on Discord, we have our private server there, and then our private Facebook group. Also, we'll do a little chat and kind of vote and see which one you guys want to do. If you guys want to do a live video, or if it's not really your thing.
Yeah, let us know that.
Yes.
For sure.
All right. Agent Orange, any suggestions on where to stay when we come down for Spring Fling? Planning on staying Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, so I would get on there right now if you can. And my place that I always recommend is the Crescent Hotel. Right on Spring Street. It's got an amazing history to it. It's just a cool ass vibe. It's got a bar, restaurant right there. We have friends that work there, our best friends. Two of them are on staff there. They also, it's not right at that location. It's like a street down below that they have their parking. But in the parking, they have bike corrals. So you're able to put your bike and lock it up behind the gate.
And the corrals are even big enough that if you and
a buddy,
you guys can both put your bikes into the same corral, lock it, it's safe.
So that is a great place. Also, if you want to get off a little bit, just up the hill would be the Crescent Hotel. The Crescent is amazing. It's the most haunted hotel in the U.S.
Most haunted. It's not haunted a little bit, but it's most haunted.
The most haunted. And it's got a bar. They got great pizza there. I mean, that shit's really good. And that place will take your breath. That place is gorgeous. And when you roll up, you'll know you're there. I mean, it's substantial. And then we have a good buddy there on Douglas Street Inn. It's a little Airbnb, Mary.
She's got two places. She's got the Fox Den and the Crescent Room. So if you find her on Airbnb, I would definitely snag one of her places during the weekend because they do go fast. There's just the two of them, but it's a great location. It's walking distance to everything, so you can just walk downtown to all the bars, restaurants.
Just tell her TJ and Steph sent you, and she'll know. It's a great place. You just ride up the hill and pluck your bike.
She'll leave a Hershey Kisses on your pillow.
Yeah, she's a mess. Love Mary. She's definitely our family. So maybe that'll give you some options.
Yes, and that's a great question. So, Merlo, you had asked any word on the Pay It Forward family. So, yes, if you guys didn't catch our video over Christmas, we did come together with Custom Dynamics and raised money for a local family. And all the honoring asses and all of our viewers, we joined forces. We raised $20,000 for this family. So, just an update. He is doing great with his treatments. They're seeing a huge response in the chemo. This is a new chemo that he's doing. Crazy improvement that they're seeing in the test results. They are in the process, I believe, of moving. I'm not for sure exactly what they found, but that was one of our main goals for them. I know that was really heavy on Chris's heart as far as that home feeling for them to be able to just feel safe and continue on with their lives and just grow and continue to, just have that home.
Yeah, they were in an apartment, and the people there, weren't working with them very well. So the Wilsons, they were up against it, yeah, they're doing some changes and working really hard. We will reach out to them this week, maybe get a little bit of information from them. I don't want to pry too much.
I do have a couple of footage clips that I need to upload. So all of us came together. There was tons of presents and gifts that was purchased for them through Amazon. That was another feature that we did during the Pay It Forward. Not only did we raise money, but we also listed some items on Amazon that they would like. I've got a couple of footages that show them opening them. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I need to share that with you guys. And
bear with us. There's been a lot of moving parts lately. Man, that was an amazing time. You know, thank Custom Dynamics right there too. They teamed up with us.
Yes.
Amazing.
Shout out to Brandy there. She said, "Hey guys, can't hear you. Listening to a band. Luke and I are out celebrating his birthday."
Wow, he turned 21.
No shots for you guys.
Don't get him wild and crazy. He won't leave his clothes on. Happy birthday, buddy.
Yes, happy birthday, Luke. You guys have a great time.
All right now.
All right, well.
So, guys, like we said, next week we'll be going live with Shane with RickRak. So we'll be posting on the store if you got any questions or want to know something from Mr. Shane. We'll post that, and you let us know. Come join us next Friday night at 7 o'clock Central, our time. And like I said, we'll be hanging out with him, and he is a ball of energy, man. This guy's a crazy cat. Love him to death. We'll be going over some of his products and some new stuff that he's been working on and coming out with. We'll be meeting with him down at Daytona Bikery at Bruce Ross Myers as well. He'll be set up there. We'll be going live with him and hanging out and showing all his cool products that we run and we believe in. Meantime, we're going to be getting everything dialed in, honed in, and ready to ride down there. So we got a lot of stuff on our plate. Steph's just talking away over here. But I do want to say, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Steph and I are trying to bring some content that's worth watching. We're trying to work with these companies. I appreciate Legends coming on tonight, you know, and taking the time. They don't have to. You know, this is the good stuff. And they're just trying to connect with you guys. And I appreciate you guys tuning in and chiming in. It means a whole lot to Steph and I.
We appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys have any questions with Shane, RickRak, send them our way.